Fractured circuits in the year 2077, Night City pulsed with the erratic heartbeat of a dying giant. Towering megabuildings scraped against a perpetual haze of pollution, their facades alive with holographic ads promising eternal youth through chrome enhancements or instant wealth via shady gigs. The streets below were a labyrinth of despair and opportunity, where the scent of street food mingled with the acrid tang of gunpowder and spilled synth blood. Amid this chaos lived Jax Harlan and Lena Voss, a couple bound by love as fierce as the corporate wars that ravaged the world around them. Jax was a man of imposing stature, his body a testament to survival in the Badlands before the city claimed him. Broad-shouldered and scarred, with a cybernetic arm that hummed softly with each movement, his voice was a deep, gravelly rumble that commanded attention in any dingy bar or back alley. He had the look of a former nomad, tattoos of the Aldecaldos clan fading under layers of dermal plating. Lena, in contrast, was a woman of lithe grace, her skin pale from hours spent jacked into the net, eyes augmented with faint glowing circuits that betrayed her netrunner prowess. Her voice was smoother, laced with a sarcastic bite that could disarm or provoke, depending on her mood. Together, they were an unbreakable unit, Jax the muscle, Lena the mind, navigating the treacherous underbelly of Night City as edgerunners, taking gigs that promised eddies but often delivered only pain. Their story didn't start with romance, it began with necessity. Jax remembered the day they met like it was etched into his neural processor. It was 2075 in the Watson district, where industrial sprawl met the remnants of old factories, now overrun by Maelstrom gangers. He was running a solo op, smuggling a shipment of Militech prototypes across the border from the combat zone. His convoy had been ambushed, wraiths, those nomadic raiders from the Badlands, swarming like locusts on their bikes. Bullets pinged off his reinforced truck as he floored it, his deep voice cursing into the comms. Damn it, I need backup. Anyone on this freak? That's when Lena's voice crackled through, sharp and amused. Backup. Choom, you sound like you're about to flatline. What's the payout for saving your chrome ass? She was a freelance netrunner, monitoring open channels for gigs. From her rig in a dingy apartment overlooking the Watson docks, she dove into the net, quick hacking the Wraith's vehicles, engines stalling, turrets turning on their own. Jax burst through the blockade, owing her his life. They met in person at a noodle stand in Little China, rain slicking the streets and holographic dragons coiling in the air. Jax towered over her, his rumble of a voice grateful. You saved my hideout there. Name your price. Lena looked up, her eyes scanning him with that augmented glow, a smirk playing on her lips. Price, how about dinner first, big guy? Then we'll talk eddies. It was the start of something electric, a partnership that blossomed into love amid the gunfire and data streams. By 2077, they had built a life together in a modest safe house in Haywood, a district where gang wars between the Valentinos and 6th Street turned every corner into a potential kill zone. The apartment was cramped, walls lined with scavenged tech, Jax's arsenal of weapons on one side, Lena's netrunning deck on the other. The air hummed with the low buzz of servers and the occasional spark from Jax's arm as he tinkered with it. We need a bigger score, Jax would say, his deep voice echoing off the concrete. These small-time gigs are bleeding us dry. Arasaka's expanding, Militech's retaliating, war's coming and we gotta be ready. Lena would unplug from her chair, stretching her slender frame, her voice teasing but tinged with concern. Always the warrior, Jax. You think chrome and guns solve everything? One wrong hack and we're ghosts in the net. But she loved his fire, the way his presence made the city feel conquerable. They shared nights tangled in sheets, her fingers tracing the scars on his chest, his rough hands gentle on her back. In a world where trust was currency rarer than pure water, they had each other. The turning point came on a stormy night in March 2077. The acid rain drummed against their window like impatient fingers, and the Hollow News blared reports of another corporate skirmish, Arasaka agents clashing with Militech mercs in Westbrook. Jax paced the room, his boots thudding heavily, while Lena lounged in her deck chair, neural link dangling from her temple. A ping came through their fixer network. Rico Alvarez, a sleazy operator with ties to the Tiger Claws. His face flickered on the hollow projector, gold teeth gleaming, voice oily and persuasive. Hey, lovebirds, got a gig that'll set you up for life. Kuroshi Optics prototype, new ocular implant. Sees through walls, predicts bullet paths. Stashed in their Japanton lab. Arasaka's sniffing around it so time's short. Jax leaned in, his brow furrowing under the dim light. What's the split, Rico? And don't lowball us. 50-50 after I fence it, Rico replied, but Lena cut in, her voice sharp as a monoblade. 50, you're dreaming, choom. 70-30 our way, or we walk. She crossed her arms, her augmented eyes narrowing. Rico chuckled, conceding. Fine, 70 it is, but watch your backs. Kuroshi's got Arasaka security on loan. They prepped meticulously. Jax oiled his Militech M251 Ajax rifle, syncing it to his neural interface for smart targeting. His cyberarm, a bulky model from ZA Tech, could punch through ferrocrete. This feels off, he rumbled, loading magazines. Reek was too eager. Lena calibrated her deck, installing fresh icebreakers and a Sandivistan reflex booster for those critical moments. Everything in this city feels off, Jax. But we need the eddies. Imagine our own place in the glen, away from the gangs. Her voice softened, dreaming of a life beyond the grind. The heist launched at midnight. Japantown was alive with the hum of neon signs in kanji, street samurai patrolling under cherry blossom holograms that masked the underlying rot. They approached via the rooftops, Jax's heavy steps muffled by stealth boots, Lena's lighter tread silent. Drones at 12 o'clock, she whispered, jacking into a nearby terminal. Her mind plunged into the net, a digital ocean of code, firewalls like towering icebergs. She sliced through, her voice triumphant over comms. Systems down, elevators hours. Inside the Kuroshi Tower, the lab was a sterile maze of humming servers and glowing vials. Guards in black Arasaka armor patrolled, katanas at their sides. Jax moved like a shadow despite his size, his voice a low growl. Stay close, Lena. Alarms blared as they grabbed the prototype, a sleek vial of nanites labeled Relic 2.0. Chaos erupted. A squad of corporate solos charged, bullets whining. Jax opened fire, his rifle barking in controlled bursts, bodies dropping with wet thuds. Incoming, he bellowed. Lena activated her Sandivistan, time dilating as she blurred through the room, quick-hacking enemy cyberware, optics frying, limbs locking. Got your back, handsome? Her voice was exhilarated, adrenaline sharpening her sarcasm. They fought their way out, but not unscathed. A stray round clipped Lena's thigh, blood soaking her pants. Jax took a slash from a monoblade across his chest, his dermal plating sparking. In the getaway AV, they laughed through the pain, eddies in sight. We did it, Jax said, pulling her close, his deep voice warm. Yeah, but Rico better pay up, Lena replied, wincing, her tone laced with doubt. Betrayal struck at the drop point in the combat zone, a ruined expanse of crumbled buildings and perpetual gang warfare. Rico waited with a crew of Maelstrom gangers, their faces a nightmare of chrome implants and glowing red eyes. Change of plans, Rico sneered, his voice distorted by vocal mods. Arasaka's paying more. Hand it over, Jax's eyes narrowed, rifle rising. You slimy rat, we had a deal. The fight was savage. Maelstrom psychos lunged, mantis blades whirring. Jax roared, his cyberarm crushing skulls, bullets tearing through augmented flesh. Lena netran from cover, disabling their boosters, but one ganger, a hulking brute with chain rippers, got through. He slammed into Jax, blades piercing his side. Blood flowed, hot and sticky. Jax, Lena screamed, her voice breaking. She fried the ganger's brain with an overload hack, but the damage was done. They escaped with the prototype, holing up in Pacifica, a district of abandoned resorts and voodoo boys' territory. Jax's wound festered, nanites from the blade causing rejection in his implants. It burns, he grunted, sweat beading on his forehead. Lena tended him, her hands steady despite the fear in her eyes. Hold on, love. I'll fix this. Her voice was soft, vulnerable for once. Desperation led them to Doc Vargas, a ripperdoc in Haywood with a clinic hidden behind a Valentine-owned auto shop. Vargas was a grizzled man, voice gruff from years of smoke and surgery. This is Arasaka black ice in your system, choom. I can amputate the arm, stabilize you, but you'll be down and limb. Do it, Jax rumbled, gritting his teeth. Post-op, Jax was one-armed, weaker but alive. Lena, in a bid to understand the prototype, installed a sample in her optics. I can see everything now, she said, her voice awed. But the relic was more than an upgrade. It was experimental soul-killer tech, a virus that eroded the mind. Paranoia set in. They're watching us, Jax, Lena whispered one night, her eyes wild. He held her, his remaining hand strong. We'll fight together, Arasaka closed in. A team led by Akira Tanaka, a sleek woman with a cold, precise voice, raided their safe house. The relic is property of Arasaka. Surrender or die. The battle was fierce. Jax, handicapped but ferocious, held the door, his pistol blazing. Lena, run, she hacked turrets, her voice defiant. Not without you. They fled to the afterlife, the legendary Merc Bar in Watson, where legends like Rogue, a woman with a no-nonsense voice, offered sanctuary. You two are in deep, Rogue said. Rico's maelstrom ties run to Arasaka, bad move. The final confrontation came in the bar. Rico stormed in with reinforcements. Guns blazed, tables overturning. Jax fought like a demon, his rumble echoing. Lena's enhanced eyes predicted trajectories, her hacks turning the tide. But in the melee, Rico fired a point-blank shot into Lena's chest. She crumpled, blood pooling. Jax. I love you, she gasped, her voice fading to a whisper. Rage consumed Jax. He charged, killing Rico in a brutal takedown. But Lena was gone, her eyes dimming. Broken, Jax took the relic and launched a solo assault on Arasaka's tower in Centro. Explosions rocked the night as he sabotaged their core, a suicide bid. For you, Lena, he whispered, his deep voice cracking as the world ended in fire. Night City forgot them, but their tragedy lingered in the whispers of edgerunners, a cautionary tale of love lost to ambition. Epilogue rain fell heavy over Night City. In an alley lit by flickering ads for synth food and cheap chrome, the streets still whispered their names. Some said they'd seen Jax's shadow, a ghost with one glowing eye, and a heart that had stopped beating long ago. Others claimed Lena was still out there, trapped in the net, her voice glitching through the data streams, whispering, "We're not gone, we're just uploaded." And so the city pulsed on, ruthless and radiant, while the legend of fractured circuits lived forever in every line of code, every bullet hole, every neon heartbeat.